Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Alrighty, guys. Episode 2, History March. Hannibal series, Second Punic War, across the Alps. Let's go. First video of the day. Sorry if I'm a little tired. The original link to the video, top of the description below. If you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Connor. I like to learn about history through YouTube recommendations. The original link to the video, top of the description. Right below that, link to the Discord. Just click on it. It'll send you right over there. Make sure when you do, though, click on that check. The check mark, green check mark. All right, let's get into it. See, I love to have you. Just makes it easier for me to interact with you guys. Let's go. All right, so these are the Patreon supporters. Let's do it. The prize of death on the battlefield is to depart from life in the heat of the fight. Hannibal.
It is the year 218 B.
If you're not ready to learn, there's the door. Get out. Home X down the hall. Make me filet mignon, some asparagus, and mashed potatoes. It's probably my favorite meal of all time. Okay.
It is the year 218 BC. As Roman legions under Consul Tiberius Sempronius Longus sail south to invade Carthage itself, Gnaeus Cornelius Scipio Calvus is consolidating Rome's position in Iberia, while his brother, Consul Publius Cornelius Scipio, rushes back to the Po Valley to take command of the Roman army there and stop Hannibal. Both sides are confident of victory.
Hannibal's gonna get his... Ooh. That wasn't their last video. Gonna get his elephants to the Alps somehow.
Although the Carthaginians are faced with serious setbacks in Iberia, in Gaul, Hannibal speeds up his approach to the Alps when he befriends the Allobroge tribe by adjudicating in a dispute between two royal brothers over who should rule. The seemingly grateful new ruler of the tribe, Brancus the Elder, provides the Carthaginians with supplies, warm clothes, food, and guides.
Wow.
And so begins Hannibal's perilous journey through the Alps.
I just want to say, I won't pause that much, but out of all of the rulers, or all of the military leaders that I have seen, whether it be Alexander the Great, any of the generals in World War I, World War II, Napoleon, Caesar, no one has given me the best impression right off the bat than Hannibal has so far. He seems to very much know what he's doing on and off the battlefield.
But as the ascent begins, Brancus's friendly guides turn home. Here, Hannibal shows he is as skillful in mind games as he is in generalship. Sensing an ambush, he sends scouts ahead who report that the tribesmen are indeed mustering their forces just ahead on higher ground near their settlement, waiting to attack the passing Carthaginian column. With a select group of experienced troops, Hannibal sneaks up to a position overlooking the tribal settlement.
I'm pausing again. Okay, so the people who he just helped out and gave him all the supplies and war clothing and the guides are leading him into a trap? Am I wrong here?
And plans his next move.
Oh god, this is...
As night falls, he signals his army to proceed marching. Spotting the movement, tribal sentries raise the alarm and, just as Hannibal had hoped, an attack begins on the Carthaginian column. Expecting the impending attack, Carthaginian troops below stand fast on the precipice. A swarm of tribal warriors smashes into their solid defensive line, the initial push throwing many over the cliff's edge. But the Carthaginians hold their
I'm not attacking that thing to the elephant. I'd do the same thing.
ground, and the tribesmen edge. But the Carthaginians hold their ground, and the tribesmen soon realize that they have fallen into a trap. Hannibal rushes downhill while Carthaginian troops from below simultaneously begin pushing uphill. Many tribesmen are cut down in a matter of minutes, their morale broken by the lightning-fast Carthaginian counterattack. With the enemy driven off, Hannibal and his men turn their attention towards the village. They storm the tribal settlement and seize all of their winter provisions. At dawn, the Carthaginian march resumes. Over the following 3 days, the marching column continues unopposed. But all that changes on the 4th day, as the Carthaginians enter a narrow gorge where they are met by several tribal chiefs who offer friendship, hostages, and guides. Suspecting that the Gallic tribes from these parts are no friendlier, Hannibal accepts their offer, but takes precautions by secretly moving the vulnerable baggage train and cavalry to the front of the column, and positions his heavier infantry in the rear. As the Carthaginians' march continues through the extremely narrow pass, the 200-meter vertical cliffs ominously tower over them. And they are not alone. The Gallic warriors are watching from above. Having set up an ambush further up the gorge, the tribesmen bide their time, shadowing Hannibal's army for 2 days. But suddenly, at a very...
Just once again, this channel is amazing. I already love this channel, and I'm only this is only the 2nd episode. Great job.
Narrows. But suddenly, at a very narrow point in the gorge, the Carthaginian column gets blocked from the front as the tribesmen unleash their attack. Rocks and projectiles rain down from the cliffs above onto the Carthaginians below, killing many in the process. Animals panic and trample over soldiers who hopelessly look for cover. The main Gallic force appears behind the Carthaginian column and charges the rear, expecting weakest resistance there, as they hope to loot and destroy their supply train. But again, Hannibal proves he is one step ahead of his opponents, as the heavy Carthaginian infantry he previously placed in the rear pushes back the Gallic charge and inflicts heavy losses on the enemy, forcing them to retreat after a brief battle. Hannibal then urges his men to push forward out of the killing zone as the barrage of rocks from above continues. It is not until 1 day later that the Carthaginians finally reach safety on the other side of the gorge. The last of the Elebruge attacks is beaten off, but the remorseless fighting against the Gallic tribes took its toll on Hannibal's army. To make matters worse, the weather soon turns as winter comes early. Hannibal's troops find themselves battling heavy snowstorms. While traversing through rocky gorges and steep mountain slopes, many are swallowed by treacherous voids lurking just under the snowfall. Men, animals, and wagons slip and slither on the ice towards precipitous ravines and treacherous chasms. Finally, 9 days into the march, the Carthaginians set up camp just below the top of the pass as they...
I just want to say, just to get it out of my mind so it doesn't distract me, kind of a tangent, but it's somewhat related. It's in the Alps. But I said how me, my dad, and my brother took a car through from London and then through Europe. And going through the Alps, some of those roads were so if somehow the brakes malfunctioned or went out or the safety brake or not, you were dead. Like, so.
Into the mud and treacherous chasms. Finally, 9 days into the march, the Carthaginians set up camp just below the top of the pass as they wait for stragglers to catch up. 2 days later, Hannibal rallies his troops at the top and points to the panorama of Italy below. There he vows to his men, "You will have the capital of Italy, the citadel of Rome, in the hollow of your hands." And with that, they begin descending towards the Po Valley. But the slopes on the way down are far steeper and largely covered in ice. The treacherous terrain claims the lives of many more troops and animals. Adding to the hardship, a collapsed stretch of road forces the Carthaginian column to stop for 3 days amidst freezing conditions while the road is repaired. But finally, after braving these horrific conditions, the Carthaginians reach the foot of the Alps.
Hey.
Having lost nearly half his army, Hannibal takes stock of his troops, who suffered terribly during the crossing. Of the 45,000 that set off through the Alps just 16 days ago, only 26,000 made it to the other side.
During the crossing of the Alps, Hannibal supposedly rode on an Asian elephant called Surus the Syrian. Asian elephants were larger than their African cousins. Really? And by riding the enormous beast, Hannibal believed that the fearsome spectacle would persuade the Gauls to remain loyal. A big thank you to all the... Is that the end of it? Yeah, that's got to be the end. Awesome. I know that wasn't the longest video. I'll be sure to do the next one right after this. Stay tuned. Hit all the buttons, guys. Hope you're all doing well. See you next time.